So yesterday, XAI announced that you can now use your Grok subscriptions inside the Hermes agent. It's a pretty interesting announcement. See the full blog post here, but it allows you to use it like you would use any other type of agent model as an official provider. And you can use Grok 4.3 for text conversations, Grok text to speech, even Grok Imagine, so that you can have your Hermes agent creating images and videos. So pretty big announcement, well deserved for the new research team. Very big integration by one of the biggest AI labs in the US. And we usually think of Grok as, the AI agent that is on X that you can ask questions to, ask if something was real, ask it to create images. You don't really think of it much as like an agent model or as a coding model, but it's clear that XAI is trying to move in that direction. They just had this announcement as well this week about Grok Build and agentic CLI for coding, building apps, automating workflows. And right now, this is only available for Super Grok heavy subscribers, but still in early beta. But it's clear they're trying to move more in that direction, trying to compete with OpenAI and Anthropic in terms of agent models and coding models. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to set this up. It'll be fairly simple. And then we're going to try a couple of the different tasks that it has that are unique from other things. The nice thing about using something like Grok is that it has integration with X, which obviously is a major source of information, trends, research. Still remains one of the top social media platforms here. And having Grok, having native integration with X data really makes it kind of special. So we're going to test out some of that functionality as well as just the normal Grok, see how it operates in the Hermes agent, as well as text to speech. And we're going to try to create some images and videos as well. So let's get started. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my free weekly newsletter, where I give my honest thoughts about the week's AI news that I can't share here, as well as interesting research and papers that I found, and what projects I've been building behind the scenes. There's a link in the description, or go to onchainaigarage.com. Every word is written by me, mistakes and all. So if you're sick of AI slop articles or all hype with no substance, subscribe and give AI Garage Weekly a shot. Now back to the video. So first things first, you're going to want to go to grok.com. And remember, this integration is only with the Grok subscription, Super Grok, it's called. It's not with the Grok access you get from having a X premium account, at least not of this recording, which is May 16th. That could have, of course, changed, but as of now, it's only with this Super Grok account. So you're going to want to go to grok.com, create your free account, use an email or whatever. And this is the Super Grok pricing. There's a light version as well for $10 a month, but Super Grok is $30 a month usually. Right now they have an offer, limited time, so you get 3 days for free. So if you want to try this out in Hermes Agent right now, you can do it for free for a couple days and see how you like it, and whether you want to commit to the $30, which is not that bad. And there we go, we unlocked it. You have to put in a credit card even for the free trial, so be aware of that. And if you don't cancel after the 3 days, I imagine you'll be charged. So let's start enjoying Super Grok here. So this is just the web version, but we're gonna hook this up in Hermes Agent right now. Okay, so I'm now using WSL still, and for my Hermes Agent. And then what you're gonna want to do is Hermes setup. There's a couple ways to do this, but you could see this is the provider, right? And XAI. You see XAI right now just shows the direct API, and that's because I haven't upgraded since a couple days ago. Let me actually run Hermes update. And then you can see on the list of providers here, down here, XAI, Grok, OAuth. So this is going to be your Super Grok subscription, which is going to differ from the XAI, the direct API, paying for API. But we're going to do with the subscription here. Okay, so it's going to give you a very long URL to authorize Hermes with XAI. So that's going to open a browser. Going to authorize Grok build. It's actually calling. Connection is successful. Go back. There we go. We're authorized. And Grok 4.3 is the most recent one. There we go. That's it. Our provider should be set. Okay, so let's start this up to Hermes chat. You see, yep, Grok 4.3. So let's just make sure it works. The opening hello. So we actually get a response here. There we go. Hello, Shrimple. Hello, Shrimple here. Your digital shrimp brother, keeping the machine locked down tight. What can I do for you today? So there we go. It does work, and you can see 1 million context window, which is pretty crazy. Even other frontier models, like I usually use GPT 5.5 here, it doesn't let you do the full 1 million context window, I believe. So that is a very nice context window. So first things first, I want to try out some of the X features. And the first is very basic. I'm going to give it a link to an X post and just ask it to summarize it. The post I'm going to give it is this new research paper they had recently. I actually read this when it first came out. It was pretty interesting. It was actually in my newsletter, breaking it down a little bit, but they had this post today about it. And it's about their kind of new attention mechanism for pre-training. Pretty interesting idea. So we're going to ask our new Grok-powered Hermes agent to just summarize it. And before we do it in Hermes Agent, let me just remind you, I'm sure you've all had this happen, but this is a Claude code, just normal CLI. And I said the same thing, please summarize this tweet. And that, of course, I can't fetch it directly. X.com returns HTTP. So they block any kind of agents being able to directly read tweets. And I mean, Claude tried to, this is Opus 4.7, and it did try to do a web search, but obviously it wasn't able to do it. So that's, I'm sure you've all encountered that if you've tried that. Trying a direct access of a tweet like this is just not going to work. X is very protective of their data naturally. Back in the Hermes agent, I said the same thing. Please summarize this tweet. And unlike Claude, it was able to give me this little summary here. New research just released Lighthouse Attention, a hierarchical collection-based attention mechanism for efficient long context pre-training. So that alone is a pretty nice feature. This is only something you're going to get with Grok. That's kind of why Grok, you get a lot of extra value from this because you have direct access to X posts like this. And the only other way to do this is to go through the X API, which depending on what you're doing, fetching a lot of tweets, even just reading them, can get very expensive if you're doing a lot of it. So this subscription actually gives you a lot of value, just having that one feature. Okay, so the next thing we're going to try to do here is try this text-to-speech for spoken responses, see how that works. So you could see, you could set it up in the Hermes setup. Right now I just had the default one, but we can do it and use the XAI one directly. So I want to generate a sample with Grok TTS. Give me the text, okay? This is the sample I gave it. It's just kind of the opening line of that blog. Let's see if it can do this, how well it does text-to-speech. Okay, so it created the file. Let me play it for you.
Hermes Agent is Noose Research's open-source, self-improving agent. It runs persistently on any computer, sandbox, or VPS, and creates long-term memory across sessions, learning as you use it. Hermes Agent is...
There you go. I didn't hear any obvious mispronunciations. That was the Eve voice. Apparently they have different voices you can play around this, but that was a pretty smooth TTS. And just to give you a quick comparison, this is the Edge TTS, which is kind of the default, the free one from Microsoft. So it's the same line.
Hermes Agent is Noose Research's open-source, self-improving agent. It runs persistently on any computer, sandbox, or VPS and creates long-term memory across sessions, learning as you use it.
Okay, a bit more robotic. Here, just quickly give you the comparison one more time.
Hermes Agent is Noose Research's open source, self improving agent. It runs persistently on any computer, sandbox, or VPS and creates long term memory across sessions.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty clear difference in quality there in terms of speech. One is much more robotic. The Grok one sounds very natural. So if you're going to actually use TTS for like natural speech, the Grok one's pretty good. That was pretty high quality. Next, I want to have a little fun with some of the images and videos. See if we can create some fun stuff in Hermes here. Now, to use Imagine, Grok Imagine, you're going to have to change the image generation provider. I had it as codexes for GPT images. So let's switch it to Grok. So you do this with Hermes Tools. There's a couple ways to do it, but we're going to do Hermes Tools here. And then you want to come down to reconfigure an existing tools provider API key. Go to image generation. And you can see right now we're on OpenAI. And we want to try XAI Grok Imagine. We want high quality, or let's do the faster one. Okay. It didn't ask me for an API key. Let me see if that is properly set up. Okay, so we'll see if it's set up, but the prompt I'm going to give it for the image, you may have remembered this prompt when I was doing my first look at GPT Images 2.0. This is the prompt I used, and this is the image that GPT Images gave me. On-Chain AI Garage, the movie. The prompt is, create a hyper-realistic movie poster for a film called On-Chain AI Garage, the movie. It is a hyper-detailed steampunk style, and in the center is a giant mechanical elephant stomping through a dystopian future city. There are 3 to 4 people on the elephant wearing futuristic robot suits in a steampunk style. The poster should be very detailed and realistic in terms of physics and shadowing. That's the prompt I'm going to give to Hermes Agent using the Grok Imagine tool. And I thought that would be good just because we already have an existing comparison. Bigger version, you can kind of see it more. Okay, it was done. 27 seconds. I'll say in general, just using it around here, it's super fast. Just in general, the responses I'm getting are quite a bit faster than what I'm used to. Okay, and this is what we got for the image. On-Chain AI Garage, the movie. We got exactly 4 people. There's our mechanical elephant stomping through the dystopian city. Looks pretty good. Kind of a cyberpunk style. Perhaps a little bit different style from this one. This one went way more detailed and gave us like stuff like credits and stuff in GPT. But this one, that stuff wasn't actually in the prompt. This kind of followed the prompt more closely, actually. A little different style, but it looks pretty good. So that's pretty nice having your Hermes agent with Grok using images. But you can already, if you have a Codex account, create images using GPT images. Kind of a differentiator here with Grok is using Grok Imagine for videos. So that is something that Codex cannot do currently. Let's try out that functionality. And this is another thing you're going to want to do, Hermes tools, and instead of image generation, do the video generation. Then use XAI Grok Imagine for that. So let's go back and make a video. So one note for the video generation, you're going to want to go into configure all platforms and make sure video generation is checked off here. It may not be by default. Mine wasn't by default because I didn't have a video generation model previously. So you're going to want to check this. If you don't check it, Grok is not going to be able to use the tool at all or even know that it exists. So just make sure that you have that set up. Okay, so the prompt we're going to use, and this is the same prompt if you watched my Open Video Studio where I created that that kind of local studio for video generation using Open Router API keys. This is the prompt I gave it for that, and it's going to be the same one. So we have something to compare it to. It's going to be a shot of cartoon robots and shrimp working in a garage as the words on-chain AI garage fall down and bounce on the ground. So remember that video, only one of them did it well. The others had kind of weird hallucinations and stuff. But we'll see how Grok Imagine handles this. Just to give you a comparison, this is the video that the Minimax video generator did, and this was the best of the three that we tested. There you go, just to give you a comparison. Okay, so that gives you an example of what another model did. Let's see what we got from Grok Imagine. Okay, so this is what Grok Imagine. You can already see there's some shrimp and robots.
On-chain AI garage.
Time to build.
Let's get tinkering.
They're speaking.
Yeah, shrimp power.
Okay, they added like audio to it and made the shrimps and robots talk. It looks pretty good, I would say. On-chain AI garage. Got the
Time
text
to
right.
build.
Let's get tinkering.
Only the
Yeah,
garage
shrimp
fell,
power.
but it's definitely more to that with the audio. And it captured the garage feel with the robots and shrimp pretty well. So I think that's the winner. I think that beats the Minimax one. There we go. We tried a couple of different tasks with Grok, Super Grok in Hermes Agent. Worked pretty well, I would say. Like having the image and video functionality in your Hermes Agent really opens up a lot of possibilities. And I would say, like I said before, it responded very quickly to everything I've asked it to do. So very quickly, lastly, I'm just going to see if it can design a plan to execute the spec file. This is the MTP drafter experiment that I tried to run with Codex. We're not going to have time to actually do the full file here, obviously. Maybe I will try to do a full coding video with Grok and Hermes Agent. I just want to see if it can read a spec file and kind of design a plan that makes sense. So this was a difficult experiment that even Codex couldn't do on my hardware. Okay, so here's the full plan. It followed the spec exactly. Oh, here's what I would approach differently. Earlier, memory guardrails, data pipeline order. So it does have its own kind of opinions of how it would approach it differently. Overall, the spec is very solid and realistic. The differences are mostly tightening feedback loops and protecting the most constrained resource. Okay, so it was able to read that advanced spec and actually design a plan and kind of identify weaknesses in the plan, the spec file itself. I am curious how well it could build, like actually code. I've never thought of using Grok as a coding agent, but maybe that'll be the next video of people like this one. This is running a little bit longer than I wanted. I think we're going to cut it out here. I think we saw some cool things. We saw how to set it up in Hermes Agent and a couple of the different unique features that Grok, Super Grok would give us that other models wouldn't be able to necessarily. So I think maybe next video, people like this one, I'll try it like an actual full build coding project using Super Grok. But that's going to be it for this video. Leave a comment if you like. Let me know your thoughts on this model and using it in Hermes Agent, what you're up to. And if you like it, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.